Today on the Amateur Traveler Video Edition, we return to the bustling city of London, England. Okay, perhaps it's not that bustling, but it can feel like a busy city when you remember how many people live here and how many are going about their daily business. I'm your host, Chris Christensen, and today we're going to look at London, which is the home for 7.2 million people who both work and play here. Many Londoners, as well as most smart tourists, get around on public transportation, which is both plentiful and relatively inexpensive in London if you buy the Oyster card. It includes major train stations such as this one, as well as, obviously, the London Underground. If the hustle and bustle of London starts to get to you, you are never that far from an escape to the perfect British solution, which is, of course, the public house, or the pub. If you want a good overview of the city, I would recommend the Big Bus, which is both an enjoyable, educational, and a fun way to get oriented with the city. And don't forget to look up. You'll need to watch where you're going, but also pay attention to those small details like the statue of Eros here in Piccadilly Circus. There's all sorts of things like that in London. London is a complicated, complex, historical city with all sorts of great statues, monuments, and memorials, and clearly museums as well. If the noise and traffic and crowds of London ever starts to get to you, you can do what we did when we first visited with an 18-month-old child, and that's retreat to some of London's green spaces. Right by Buckingham Palace, in the background here you see Green Park, and there are many public spaces that are very close to very well-known monuments, especially here in downtown London. On the other side of Buckingham Palace, between there and this spot, which is the parade grounds of the Horse Guards, and you can see the London Eye in the distance, is the very lush and very green St. James Park. This is certainly a place that was built for kings and queens, but is enjoyed by Londoners of all ages, and certainly by not a few tourists who use its green lawns to relax after a busy day of visiting London. Just north of St. James Park is the Mall, where you will see the Trooping of the Colours, or the Changing of the Guard, march down. And on the other side of that, you'll find this, which is St. James Palace. And here back again on the Green Park side of Buckingham Palace is Wellington Arch in the distance, and in the foreground memorials to several campaigns that the British Army has fought in. And Wellington's Arch, of course, dedicated to the Duke of Wellington, the Iron Duke, the hero of the Peninsular Campaign in the Napoleonic Wars and of Waterloo. But remember, if you get to the point that you can't tell your Waterloo from your water closet, then it might be time for you to relax and enjoy some of London's green space, some of the many parks. With that, we'll bring this episode of the Amateur Traveler Video Edition to a close. Remember to check out also the weekly audio edition of the show. And as always, thanks so much for watching.